I'm Jackie. This is Garrett. We almost got divorced. Going through all that made us like how we are now, which is just so much better than you could ever imagine.
When you dig through the deepest, darkest part of the night, man, it ain't nothing but sunshine after that.
This is the most important job you'll ever have, and people don't put as much work into it as they should. We're going on 25 years. We have 5 adult children and 1 brand new granddaughter. She's so cute.
All right, welcome to episode
8.
We're already at 8, man. This year is flying by. And so, another episode coming to you about
How to know when your time is up.
your time is up. We're going to call this one, we're going to stick with that title. All right, y'all? Let's do it. Let's talk about how you know when to move on to the next one.
I think there's a difference between forgiving someone and giving them a second chance and allowing that person to continue with the pattern of bad behavior that they've shown you repeatedly. I'm going to give you once, maybe twice of doing the same thing, and then I'm going to ask you if you're slow. Like, what don't you understand about what is wrong about this? Not just in relationships. He's very smart. He's not the dumb. I'm just like, you can't let somebody continue to do the same things that are upsetting to you and then wonder why they continue to do them. They will do what you allow, and you can't blame them for that.
Have I ever done anything like that?
I'm sure he has.
You still with me?
He only did it once. His time isn't up yet.
What about when I eat?
That's not something to be forgiven because you eat like you were raised in a barn.
I eat like
it's not your fault.
I eat like your food is good.
The food I don't cook.
But I know I know that you don't like that, but I can't help it.
Yes, you can.
I can't. That's just how I eat, though.
He can help it.
No, I think she makes some valid points. Like, it's one thing to forgive, but it's another thing to keep forgiving for the same thing. Like, I don't know. Like, we've been through a lot.
Like, are you sorry?
Yeah.
Are you sorry
Yeah.
if you keep doing the same thing?
Yeah.
Probably not.
Yeah.
And then the apology becomes meaningless, and it's empty, and it's just words.
Right. But how many times do you give them? Like, just one, you saying?
Guess it depends on how much patience you have.
Yeah.
But it's only going to take one time you encountering somebody who doesn't make you work that hard to be treated right. Like, if you're doing the most work so that your mate is treating you right, that's a problem.
No, that's true. There's just, forgiveness and continue to allow access to your heart. I guess the common thread is if a person keeps doing it, then they're not really sorry. And I guess that's what has kept us going, is the fact that
You're sorry.
it's always me, huh?
I'm perfection.
Yeah, it's that, you try to change.
I think it's a combination of love, fear, and habit that keeps people in a bad situation.
You think it's love?
Like, I may love you no matter how you're treating me. Like, my love for you is what's keeping me here. I'm not saying that the love is being reciprocated, but my feeling or what I feel for you is keeping me here. And then people become comfortable in their situation. They don't think there's something else out there for them, or they've seen the dating pool and they're picking people apart, or, maybe this person is almost what you would consider acceptable, and you feel like if you could just get past this one thing that they keep doing repeatedly, that you can turn it into something. But I just don't think people grow and change. People individually grow and change, but I don't think you could be in a relationship settling, thinking you are going to change this person into what you want or need them to be.
Yeah, man, that's man, this is tough because I was thinking about our own relationships, and so when you think about love, fear, or being afraid, or just habit, or being comfortable, I agree. I think 99% of the relationships that overshoot how long they should have stayed was a matter of being comfortable. And then I think also that, like, on one hand, I feel like love and fear should never go hand in hand. But I'd be lying if I said, sometimes I wasn't afraid of you. Like,
As he should be.
no, not like scared of you, but like, man, what type of mood she gonna be in today? Like, I think there's times when people are like anxious, or not fearful, I guess this is the word, but like where people are in a relationship where most of the time they're walking on eggshells. And that's where I feel like, is it really love if you're fearful? I mean, sometimes you can.
But they probably think it's love.
Yeah, that's what.
Like the person who's in it probably thinks, I love this person so much, even though they're doing this, and this. When it may not be love. That's what they think love is, because that's what either they've been shown or it's better than what they previously had.
Mm-hmm. But how you know when it ain't love?
I feel like it's just a feeling. Like, you would just know.
Some people are waiting on a feeling, I guess.
I think a lot of people who, I don't even want to reference him, but I will, Tyler Perry and the famous 80-20 rule. There's no one that's perfect. There's no one, I feel, except for me, and him. Maybe just me. There's no one that I feel is going to have 100% of what maybe you're looking for. But then you have to start relaxing your standards. Like, is this thing that important for me to have to sacrifice all of these other things that this person has? And I think that's kind of a fair thing to assess. Make your list and start checking off things that are absolute deal breakers. Things that you think you can't, things not that you think, things that you know you can't live without. But I would not grab a person that had 2 out of 20 of these things and start trying to piece together the rest of this person to where they got at least 15 of the things. Like, I don't think
How many did I have?
It should be that extreme. I didn't have a list.
I know you didn't have a list, but what were some of the things you didn't like about me that wasn't perfect, even though.
Some of the things I didn't like about you.
Yeah. Did I hit every mark for you?
I didn't have a list. Like, I feel like a lot of people.
What about now?
Operate like that.
Do I hit every mark for you?
I'm going to have to compile a list. And we will explore that on the next episode.
Will it be a long list, or will it just be a few?
It'll be long. Like, I was lying.
I feel like a lot of people are in it for potential, and I think you got kind of what Jackie was saying. The core of that person should be everything that lines up with your morals, right? The things that you believe in, the things that you trust. The core of that person. Now, if they snore, chew loudly, don't cut their toenails often enough.
Not the toenails.
They are excited in the morning, or what else don't y'all like about me?
Oh my God, he's lucky I didn't have a list.
See? But you couldn't think of any.
Those aren't things I hate.
I know, but
I'm not
just
going to
saying,
leave you.
That's the point I'm making, is like those things you can work with, but just like I said, watch how a person treats their mama or their siblings, and you'll kind of start to see where their core values lie.
But
And she ain't got none.
Going into the relationship, I think, like, the things that you want in a spouse, I feel like. So we had met with some other couples, and the one couple said that when they had gotten together, the woman had said she was not working. She had no intention on working once she was married. She had no intention on working when she was married. She was going to take care of the home, take care of the kids. So her, at the time, boyfriend, now husband, knew that if he was going to marry her, that he was going to have to make that a reality. And that's what they committed to. She went in and said, this is what it's going to be for me. Like, this is what my plan is for myself. And he wanted to be with her, and he met her there, and they've been married how long?
A long time.
Longer than us.
Yeah.
So
she's never worked.
Yeah. And she set that expectation in the beginning. It's not like they got into the marriage and then she started saying, yeah, I'm not working anymore. And they've kind of gotten to this groove and built this life where they're dependent upon the dual incomes. And like, she knew out the gate, and he was fine with that.
Too bad you ain't know her before.
I wish she had told me that was all I had to do, was disclose that.
No, to her point, though, is, you know, there's some things that aren't deal breakers for you, and those things, you know, you should discuss with prospects early, because they could become an issue later, you know, whether you want kids, whether you want to work, whether you want to attend church weekly, whether, you know, just whatever it is, it's different, but everyone should come to those agreements, and then work through everything else. Work through everything else, but your core being and your core beliefs shouldn't be compromised when finding a mate. And I'm not talking about a laundry list of things. It's just who you are.
I feel like if you stay in a relationship with somebody that has repeatedly caused you harm or caused you grief or heartache or pain, and you don't know how to end it, and their behavior is not changing, I feel like that says something about what you think about you, like what you feel about yourself, that maybe you're not worthy of the type of love that they're not giving you, like real love, real attention, real like concern or conversation or whatever it is you need from a relationship. I feel like it says something about them too. They've probably treated you in such a way that you feel unworthy, but you're the one who controls how someone treats you. I could treat him like dirt all day, but as long as he allows it, like, he has to take a stand and he has to say, this is unacceptable. This is not working for me. Like, we're either going to talk about this and agree on what would be appropriate, or I'm walking away. That's a little extreme, but in a dating situation, 100%, like, don't get to the point where you're dating 10 years someone that you're eventually going to walk away from because they've treated you like crap for 9.
Probably 10. They just didn't notice the first year because they was in bliss. But no, I think the hard truth is putting up with stuff that's just beneath you or abusive or insulting. I think the hard truth is that says more about your self-worth than the person's behavior, because everyone has power. Everyone has power. And you have the power to walk away. You have the power to turn away. And if people are doing those things, you got to really look in the mirror and ask why you would stay if someone treated you like that, because you wouldn't like it if you saw it from your friend's point of view, your child's point of view, or even your parents' point of view. You wouldn't say stay or continue to put up with that. So own your power. Like, don't put up with, like Jackie said, we're gonna let you we're gonna do what we're gonna do if you let us. And so, don't allow it.
I feel like some people can't be alone. Like they feel like they have to be they feel like they have to be with somebody. I don't know why. Maybe because I'm an only child, so I was used to being alone, but I didn't need like constant someone or constant something around. Like I feel like I see people jump from relationship to relationship to relationship, and maybe not even people that I'm very close to, just, you know, social media, you see what people post, and maybe they're just posting it for shock factor, maybe it's real, maybe it's not. I mean, celebrities, there's just people that you never see alone for any extended period of time. And then you have to wonder, why is every relationship failing? Like, is it you? Are you the common denominator? Probably. But I feel like that fear of being alone keeps people in a bad situation or turns them to a bad situation just because they would rather be with someone no matter how they treated them than be by themselves.
I can be bad all by myself. But she's right. I've never even had my own like bedroom. I'm a twin, and I've always had my twin brother. I've always had close relatives. I always had to share things. So I don't like the idea of loneliness, which could be a reason why I want to get married so early. But loneliness is not an excuse to be unhappy. And I don't think most people would admit the fear of being alone. I think most people would be too prideful to say it. But I think most people, you know, you don't want to come home to an empty home. Like the first thing that God says in the Bible that's not good is that man should be alone. Then it says that two is better than one. And humans are a people for community. And although it's great to have alone time, I think you need that time. People need a time to think clearly. But I think you can be with someone and be alone. And you can be alone and have a corner, a room full of family, friends, and whoever that'll support you through everybody. And so the loneliness, company doesn't have to be embodied in a person. And all you're doing is delaying true love.
I think staying too long with anyone that really isn't for you could prevent you from being able to see the good. I think for me personally, I tell him, not all the time, like I don't talk about it all the time, but I told him, like, when we were separated, I worked nights in retail, so I had a lot of foot traffic and a lot of people that I would see, and some of them were people that I would see regularly, like every single day. But every person that I would come into contact with, I'd look at them as like potential, like a potential mate. And it didn't matter. Man, woman, boy, girl, like it didn't matter. I was just trying to be like, so this is what you do when you date. You like size people up, you look at them, you see what you like about them and what you don't. And obviously, like, first impressions, all you have is the physical. But I would pick apart literally everything, like down to the cleanliness of a person's fingernails. Like, everything just disgusted me. So, like, you can't really see, I feel, what would be good. Like, if you're stuck for so long with that wrong person, like, I feel like those are the behaviors that you would look, that would kind of stand out for you in another person. Like, the things that kind of bother you, or you might take like a thing that really isn't a big deal and make it a big deal just because you're so on edge with how you had previously been treated. Like, I feel like you'll major the minor.
The problem with staying in a relationship too long is you probably learned all you're going to learn from that relationship a long time ago. And the truth of the matter is, at some point you're just wasting time. And time is the most precious resource, and you're spending it on someone you know you don't have a future with. And some people, I mean, I think eventually when you get out, you will find the one. Whether you would have found them sooner or not, I don't know. But what's my saying, babe? I think you know by 6 months whether this person is right for you or not. And most relationships go well beyond 6 months. And it's for everything we've talked about before: loneliness, companionship, just potential seekers. Like, most of y'all can be done in one date, but somehow you turn that into 6 years. But I feel bad for people, and why date someone for 10 years? I just don't. The whole purpose of dating is a means to an end, right?
I mean, if that's your goal, like...
Yeah, if marriage is your goal, yeah.
Yeah. We know a couple that they've got kids, and they've dated, gotta be coming up on 30 years, right? Like, they just never got married.
And that's not what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
No, I'm basically saying, hey, if your aspirations are to have a family and kids under the marriage covenant, because if you're not seeking marriage, then that's what you want. Like, this is the relationship you're wanting. But most people, if they're true to themselves, they want the covenantal commitment. They want to know that you step out and make that finger to say, we are exclusive, you're mine, we're bound in marriage. And why that's tough for some people to do, even after being in a relationship 10, 20 years, that's the part I don't understand.
I think if you are in a relationship with someone and you're holding up your end of the bargain, meaning you're being that companion, that ear, that helper, that faithful mate, and that other party isn't doing that, you're being loyal and you're being committed, but you're the only one in a committed relationship. This other person, I'm not sure what they're doing, but they are not committed to you. And at some point, you have to look at, you're being disloyal to yourself at the cost of being loyal to a person who isn't even being faithful in your relationship. Whether that be cheating with another person, hiding things from you, squirreling away money, whatever that thing is that they're doing that they're not being open and honest with you about, you're being loyal to them, they're being disloyal to you, and you're being disloyal to yourself.
Yeah, it's crazy because it's almost the equivalent of being loyal to your job and them not giving you a paycheck. You know what I mean? It sounds stupid, but that's actually what it is. If I'm giving my all to a person, or if I pour out my heart to Jackie and we're in a relationship and she's not doing the same, like, why am I exerting that energy into something that's not giving that back? And so I think a lot of people, I don't think they really, I think they feel like if they give, that they can survive off of that, right? Like, I'll make up the whatever that this person is lacking, but that's not how it works, because you should be getting something in return as well from this relationship. So you really got to challenge your loyalty, in that is what you're being loyal to, being loyal back to you. And so, you know, kingdoms were built that way, right? Loyalty and trust and, you know, servitude for the protection of, you know, whatever boundaries, whatever. But loyalty is a strong word, and most people are only loyal when there's some benefit to it.
I feel like when it's made known that, you know, this person and this person are together, one person might be just, you know, this is the one I've been waiting on. This is the person that I've always wanted to be with. So many people want this, whatever. Like, I think that people become obsessed with the idea of the person, not with the person that they actually are with. Like, maybe because, you know, I've had people say to me, oh, she's wifey material. Like, she'd be perfect. Can't stand her, don't get along, but she's wifey material. Like, the idea of her, like, you recognize what this person could be, what they are showing you they will be, but you don't want to treat them right. Like, why? Like, you are obsessed with the idea of them, not with them.
I feel like all of us start with an idea, right? When I first saw you in the park that day, I felt something, right? not nothing nasty, but like, it was the idea of what you could have been, the meanest, nastiest, stankiest person I ever met. But I'm serious. But the idea that, like, it could be more is what I had to go off until I got to meet you. And then once I got to meet you, and over a period of time, it's like, for some reason, she stands out above the rest, like way above the rest. There's something about her, not that she's better than anybody, but she was, for me, what I desired. And so everybody starts from an idea. And so what we have to do is, at some point, that idea has to turn into reality. And we can't be living off the idea of a person, and we have to actually see what the person is. And I guess we were blessed enough to learn about each other in a situation or an environment in which we weren't together and we were with other people, but so we got to know the person. Mm-hmm. And then through knowing the person, we no longer had an idea, we knew. And I think people have to move past that initial idea and move towards reality. And most people, for some reason, they get stuck in the in-between and can't move to reality accept who the person really is versus who you presented them to be. That you was the real thing, like Coke.
Is that what the real thing is?
Or was it
Coke?
Pepsi? You was both.
I don't know which one. I think it's Coke was the real thing. I guess you would have to decide. No, because I don't think people are capable of deciding. I'm not sure what the red flags that a relationship has come to an end are. It would depend on what you set out for this relationship to be. If you went into a relationship saying, we'll just hang out sporadically, and that is what you do, I mean, maybe that relationship doesn't have to come to an end. But if you go into a relationship with the hopes that it's going to turn into something more, with the hopes that you're going to be exclusive, like, I feel like you need to be very clear up front with, I want us to be seeing only each other. Like, I want us to be working towards living together, vacationing together, marrying each other. If those are expectations that you set out the gate and there's no progression in 6 months, like, then that is not just a red flag, that is a whole cluster of red flags that it's time to move on. Like, you might enjoy your time with this person, you might really care for this person, you might think you love this person, you might love this person, but if they've let you know that they are incapable or unwilling to give you what it is that you want in the relationship, then you need to move on, because I guarantee you there is somebody out there that is going to be everything that you want them to be, and not just bits and pieces of what this person is willing to give you. Now, I'm not saying that it's one-sided, like you should just be receiving and not giving, but that's where, if you can't even have a conversation with the person that you're dating about what you would like to see in 6 months, in 1 year for yourself, and how they could add value to that, then you're wasting the 6 months.
It's hard to just say at what point in a relationship are the red flags, so large that you gotta leave. But I really believe, and Jackie and I have talked about this, I really believe there's a feeling that comes over you, whether it's on the first date or the 140th date. Like, there's a feeling that comes over you that just doesn't resonate with your spirit. Like, just doesn't resonate with who you are as a person, or something happens that you have a decision to make. Like, this feeling is telling you that this is not the person. And at that point, so many people choose to stay. They choose to stay. And I don't know why, when they know that feeling and what it's telling them, I don't know if it's like environment factors or things that, I don't know why, but people know way before they tell you they knew, or when they actually leave. And I know it sounds like mystic, but I truly do think like there's a point where you just know this ain't the person for me. And like I said, some people have recognized that on the very first date, and then they go, hey, you want to meet again? Okay. It's just like, just be done. And being done is the best thing you will ever do, because it'll open your opportunities. You've learned from this relationship, and it'll open you up to making better choices in the next relationship. So, yeah, red flags or not, some of y'all see them red flags and think it's a party, but it's time to be done.
The only constant is change.
Yeah.
The only constant is change. So if there's no movement and no change and no evolution to any part of your relationship, it's not slow growing. It's stagnant. Like, it could be, we used to see each other twice a month. Now we see each other, 4 times a month. We make sure we see each other once a week. It's not, we've moved in together, we've gotten engaged, but that's a progression. Like, we're having more of this experience than less of it, or the same. So that's a slow growing. That's positive move.
Mm-hmm. Any growth is good, right? Like, any growth in the positive direction is good. So if your relationship or whoever you're with is getting, and this is for married folks too, because this is how you stay married, but you continue, like Jackie said, we're better today than we were yesterday, and that's what you want to be. And maybe you're better a month from now than you were yesterday, but you're at least growing, right? You're moving in the right direction. And like you said, there's no such thing as like you're either slow growing or you're not. And so, if you're in a relationship and in 2 years, it's just you haven't gone anywhere, you haven't done anything, you haven't had any communications about goals and future aspirations, that's a dead relationship. That's not what, and I said it before, you wouldn't be in a business relationship that was stagnant and not making any money or not making any innovations. So why would you stay with something that's so much more in a person that's stagnant? And so, like, even with our separation, that's where I felt our relationship had hit a stagnant point where we were going backwards, right? Like, we don't even talk as much as we used to. Now, it's a more complicated story than that, but that's what it was.
Again, like, you You know what you want in a relationship. I don't know why somebody would want to, like I said, date for nearly 30 years. I mean, they're living as though they are married. Like, they feel as though they are married. They are not married.
But why?
I don't know why. I don't know why anybody would do that. There was a person I worked with that got married because of a situation with their spouse where they needed to be married. They had to be married for reasons unrelated to how they felt for each other. They were together and they were happy not being married, but being married had to happen because of some other things that were going on in their lives. And I mean, I don't feel like that's a reason to get married either. People try to justify the not being married as, you know, it's just a piece of paper, or it doesn't really mean anything, or everything changes once you get married and everything's fine right now. I don't know. I mean, to each his own. I don't understand it. I don't know. Like, I think if we were just dating, like if we were still just dating and not married, I feel like I would feel secure in our relationship that it was going to be long lasting. But there's some people that I feel like wouldn't have that. Like, they could be dating somebody for 30 years and still wonder if this person is cheating on them because they're not married. Because technically, I mean, if you're at a wedding and they say all the single ladies stand up, like, you're single, you're not married. So, like, it's just, I don't know why anybody would want to date like that. So if marriage is your goal and you're not on the path to marriage by the end of the first year that you're together, you're probably never going to go down that road. I have a friend who was married, divorced, and has been in a serious relationship with someone for probably 15 years now. They own a home together, and children was a desire at one point. Marriage, again, was a desire. And these are things that this person, like, they've run out of time for at least the having children part. So that's unfortunate. Like, that is something that they wanted, but on the flip side, their mate did not want that. So they knew going in, so they allowed this to happen to themselves. I just think, like, by the end of the first year, if marriage is your goal and it's been communicated up front, there should be, I mean, at least ring shopping, you know, something to show that, like, you're on your way. I mean, I know somebody who's been engaged for 7 years. They're never getting married, ever. Like, I hope she doesn't think that they are, because, like, they're not. Like, there's been excuse after excuse after excuse after excuse why they haven't, and they won't.
I'll say this. I don't understand I do understand, and it's selfish, right? Why people would choose not to get married. You can say every excuse in the book about, you know, I need to know if I really trust this person. Well, it's just a piece of paper and all these other things. But the bottom line is, you're not ready to step out in faith and believe that this person is for you. And you're almost apprehensive because you kind of want to see if there's something else out there. And if you're not ready to go all in with a person, after 3, 4, 5 years, you're never going to be ready to go all in with the person. And I'll stand on that. I think you know if a person is marriage material by 6 months. I feel like at the 6 month point, you know if this woman is man is marriage material. Now, how long after that before you feel like they're the one for you? That's, to me, you know, I would say probably within 2 to 3 years you should know, or be ready to take the step. But I just don't see what there is to learn after 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 13. I don't like, unless you, like Jackie said, you settled on marriage is not for you. Totally understandable. for whatever reason. You don't have to explain it, but if you're a person who's wanted marriage and want the blessings that come with marriage, I don't understand what you're staying in after 3 years of. I mean, I honestly really think it's the apprehensions on one person's part to still be on the lookout. I mean, and people got to be honest with themselves and quit dragging people along, and because that's not gonna work out in your favor either.
Some things do need to be on a clock. Women have so long if they wish to bring forth life into this world where they could do it safely and without complications. So if your goal is to have children, maybe your goal is to have 10 children, whatever it is, like, you have to be realistic about the amount of time that it may take. It may take time to conceive. It may, I mean, depending on how many kids you want to have, like how far apart you want them to stay. So, I mean, that's the easiest example to use as far as putting a time limit on how long you give a relationship to kind of develop. It sounds a bit ridiculous because I might spend 6 months with him, find out he's not for me, spend another 6 months with someone else, like now I'm a little bit behind, especially if I want 30 kids. So you should be able to let things kind of naturally progress, but you have to be honest with yourself. If you're starting your relationship earlier in your life, then you have more time if, like the example I'm using, children is in your crystal ball. If you're starting your serious search for a mate later in life, then you have a little bit less time to get that goal accomplished. So you do have to put some time constraints on it, I feel. Now, don't go on the first date and tell the man, look, I'm ovulating, I want to have 2 kids by the end of next year. I mean, you can't do anything like that because you're just going to push him away and he's going to think you're crazy. But be realistic with them. Like, if those conversations start to kind of develop or come out, even if it is on the first date, like, let him know, like, this is where I'm at in my life. These are my goals. These are my desires. And, I mean, he'll tell you real quick if he wants to be a part of that.
And again, I think it's just as bad to get married real quick without knowing a person as much as I think it's wrong to just be scouting out a person for 7, 8, 9 years. But I will say this, though. Like, as far as things you can physically commit to on earth, you cannot name me one thing that's more commitment than a marriage. Being bound to a person that's a unique being like you for the rest of your life and working through all the challenges that come with it. There's nothing else more you can be committed to than another person, and that's why people don't want to do it. That because they know what comes with that, but what they fail to see is if you find the right person, that commitment is the best thing you will ever do. It's just, and you got to give up thinking it's not. You got to give up thinking that moving and shaking and being outside, you got to give that thinking up in order to commit. And there's just this thought in the world that somehow that moving and shaking life will lead to something better than a committed relationship where both people are in love and working towards something better. So, like, when you think about marriage and you're wondering why people don't want to get married, they don't want to commit. That's the bottom line. And although you might be living with them or you've been dating them for 25 years, there's something about that commitment that brings some hesitation. And like I said, people might disagree with that, but they ain't doing it. So there's obviously something there.
When you talk about being in a relationship with someone who's figuring things out? Like, are they contemplating, finally getting a job? Are they, thinking about buying a car and not catching the bus? Like, nothing's wrong with being unemployed or having to take the bus, by the way. But, like, what is it that they're figuring out? Are they figuring out if they want to be in a relationship? Are they figuring out if they want to be a parent to their kid that they had from a previous relationship? I guess it depends on what is this thing that's puzzling to them. Like, is it basic decency? Like, being who you're supposed to be, being a father or mother to your child, being a good employee so that you don't keep losing jobs, like paying your bills on time. What are you trying to figure out? Like, I can extend people grace for some things. Like, things happen in life that are outside of your control. But how you rebound from that says a lot about you as a person. So during that time, like, I'm happy to even help you with it. But I can't allow you to sit on my couch for 2 years unemployed while I'm going to work because you're figuring things out.
Yeah, I agree with you. And the thing is, who doesn't want to be with a person that can help them figure things out? Like I want to be part of the solution. I understand that some things folks have to figure out on their own, but I want to be with somebody that can help me figure it out. I don't want to exclude them from what I'm going through, and that's very indicative of how those people are going to be in the future with their relationship with you. So, I'm all about giving people grace. Like Jackie told y'all, like, there's sometimes that she just needs me to listen. She's not trying to get an answer from me, but she's not excluding me from the issue or whatever. She's just using me to be her sounding board. And so I just don't see where giving grace for somebody to figure it out excludes that person, right? Because if we're going to be in this and we're going to be in this together, we need to be a part of each other's figuring it out. And where you get your practice in that is in the dating pool, right? So you can't just get married and just be like, oh, now you're gonna help me figure things out. No, that's not how this works.
Like, in any relationship, you should be pouring equal amounts into each other. Like, I shouldn't be the only one giving, and you taking. Like, because at some point I'm going to be empty. Yeah. Like, it has to be balanced. It has to be give and take. You have to share the load and share the struggle. Mm-hmm. Like, it can't just be one person doing all the giving and investing in the relationship. Like, I think a lot of it boils down to communication and setting up expectations up front. Like, my expectations for our marriage might be one thing today. I'm sure they were something else 25 years ago. A month from now, I might have different expectations, but that's growth in a relationship. I'm not saying that, what I say to you today is law and this is how it always has to be. But this is where I'm at in my life right now, and this is what I need from a partner. And if you can't provide that or pour into me the way I'm pouring into you, then please don't waste my time.
Yeah, that's as simple as over for me. Like, if your futures aren't aligned, what are you doing? Like, if my vision of the future is whatever, and yours is not even close to the ballpark of mine, then y'all just entertaining each other in y'all spare time. That's all it is at that point. But yeah, your futures definitely should be aligned, the things you want, and I feel like young or old, that should be the stuff that's talked about in the early dating. Is what are your expectations? And if you're not aligned, I don't care if she looks like a 10. Like, I ain't finna be with a 10 and only getting a 2 out of her. So it's just, if your futures aren't aligned, we too old to be, or anybody, like I said, young or old, you're wasting time if you're not talking about what a future looks like together.
I always talk about the first house we bought. Like, the things that we had in that house that when we first saw it, we thought were normal. And then we realized it was a little unconventional. For example, the dryer was in the garage.
It was cool.
It was fine. We didn't even notice it probably before we
We just
and
wanted
the
the house.
washer was literally outside of the bathroom. Like, it wasn't even like it was strange. So you had to wash the clothes here, and then you had to walk down the hallway, through the family room, into the kitchen, out into the garage to put your clothes in the dryer. So in dealing with that, I knew in my next home, I want my washer and dryer in the same room. Like, I always go back to, for the next time, the things that you don't want and the things that you desire. So in a mate, if this one, showered bi-weekly and it was just something you couldn't get behind, in the next one, you need somebody who showers daily or whatever it is. If this one doesn't like to travel or can't get a passport, and you like to see the world, like, in your next mate, hey, how do you feel about traveling? Like, I feel like every relationship it's a potential lesson in what you decide you want for yourself. I feel like it'll show you at least what you don't want the next time.
Yeah, and I agree with you wholeheartedly. The only thing I would say is don't make the next person what the last person wasn't. Because now you're not looking for a whole person. You're looking for everything that person didn't do. And that's something that'll get you right back into another bad relationship. And like Jackie said with the house, that would be like us going to buy a new house, but only focusing on the washer and dryer. Right? Whatever we do, the house could be whatever, but I need a washer and dryer
in the same room
that's stackable and blah, 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 because that's all we're focused on. And then the rest of the house is falling apart. So learn from it, but don't make that person the alter ego of the last person you were with. I hope in this episode we've equipped you all with some information when to tell that person their time is up, right? And so that's what we're aiming for here, and we really hope you guys take it to heart. Look in the mirror, be truthful, understand that the right person will just change your life for the better, and you would do the same for them. So don't get stuck in a dead-end relationship. So that's it. We're out. Episode 8. Don't forget, we're online. We got our own website, limitless-livin.com. We're also on Instagram, Snapchat. No, we're not on Snapchat. What am I talking
about? He's lying.
We're on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, and you're watching us on YouTube. So continue to check us out, and we love y'all.
We are Limitless Livin.
Remember, in marriage, you can live, love, and laugh. Limitless